They say the city never sleeps, but that's a lie. There's an hour hidden deep in the night when even the streetlights seem to hold their breath. Between 2 and 3 a.m., the world feels paused. That's when I first saw her. A woman walking alone down an empty sidewalk, her steps too perfect, her presence too quiet. She didn't look lost. She looked like she belonged to the shadows. I didn't know her name, but from that night on, I couldn't stop seeing her. And the more I watched, the more I felt like she wasn't just walking, she was watching. They say every city has its ghosts. I never believed that, until I met her. It started a week ago. I'd been working late another freelance project, dragging me into sleepless nights. Around 2 a.m., I decided to step out and walk. Not to go anywhere, just breathe. The streets were unusually empty. No cars, no people, just me and the sound of my footsteps on cold pavement. And then I saw her. A woman, maybe early 30s, walking alone across the street. She wasn't rushing, wasn't nervous. Her stride was confident, elegant even, like she belonged in that stillness. She had long black hair, wore a deep burgundy coat, and didn't glance at me, not once. But somehow, I felt like she saw everything. I thought it was nothing, just a random person walking home. But the next night, I saw her again. Same time, same pace, same coat. By the third night, I waited. There she was, like clockwork. Her steps never missed a beat. She walked past the same row of buildings, paused near an old phone booth no one uses anymore, then continued down the hill toward the river. I followed her. Not close enough to seem creepy, but enough to know I wasn't dreaming. When she reached the corner near the closed bakery, she stopped, turned slightly, and vanished. I ran to the spot. No alley, no hidden turns, just a locked gate and silence. The next day, I asked around. No one had seen her. The barista at the 24-hour cafe said no woman walks alone at night in that neighborhood. Too dangerous, he said, unless she's not real. That's when the dreams started. Each night, after seeing her, I'd dream of things I'd buried, memories I thought I'd forgotten. My first love, who died in a car crash. The argument with my father I never resolved. The time I stood outside a hospital room and never went in. Each memory sharpened, vivid and painful, like they just happened yesterday. And every dream ended the same way. She was there in the background watching. By the 6th night, I was desperate for answers. This time, I stood in her path. At exactly 2:12 a.m., she appeared again, walking gracefully toward me. I expected her to stop, maybe speak, but she didn't slow down. I asked, "Who are you?" She finally met my eyes. Her voice was soft, but it sliced through the silence like thunder. "You're the only one who hasn't forgotten what guilt feels like." I felt a chill crawl up my spine. "What do you want from me?" I whispered. She tilted her head. "Not from you, for you." Then she raised her hand and suddenly, I wasn't on the street anymore. I was in my childhood home. My father was there, reading a newspaper. My younger self was playing with a toy airplane. It wasn't a dream. It was too detailed, too real. I could smell the old carpet, hear the clock ticking. She stood behind me, whispering, "Not all pain wants to be erased. Some pain just wants to be remembered." I blinked and I was back on the street, alone. But something in me had shifted. The guilt I carried, it wasn't gone. But it felt lighter, as if sharing it with her or being seen by her allowed me to breathe again. I never saw her again after that night. But sometimes when I walk past that phone booth, I hear faint footsteps behind me. I turn, no one's there. Just the hum of the streetlights and the sound of the river in the distance. Maybe she's still walking. Maybe she's watching others who carry stories too heavy to hold. Or maybe she was never really there. But I'll tell you this. If you ever find yourself awake at 2 a.m., walking the quiet parts of the city, and you see a woman in a burgundy coat walking without fear, don't follow her, unless you're ready to remember what you've tried so hard to forget. If this story moves something inside you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. We bring you a new mystery every week, Tailies, that blur the line between what's real and what you'd rather not believe.